Welcome to Helping Hands with your hosts, John Neiman and Judy Ritchie.
Hello, and welcome to Helping Hands. This is our opportunity to let you and the community know how you can lend a helping hand to a program or an agency in need. I'm Judy Ritchie with Oshkosh Family Meals on Wheels.
And I'm John Neiman with Aurora Medical Center, and welcome to our November edition of Helping Hands. I love this time of year also. I just love fall in general, but you have Thanksgiving, you have all those wonderful smells and colors, and the set design by Harnix today really shows that to us with the pumpkins, the gourds, the fall colors. We also want to take this time to thank our monetary sponsor who makes this show possible for us, which is Aurora Healthcare. As we've said, we've been on the air for this is our 12th season, and we would not be on the air if it wasn't for the help of Aurora, which gives the money so we can do this show, so we thank them very much. Where can you see our show? You can see it on CATV2, Charter 984, and you can listen to us on the radio at 101.9 FM. I also encourage you to go on the OCM website to see all the wonderful community shows that are on there. You can get the time and when they're playing. Our show, we're so excited, airs 5 of the 7 days of the week, so people recognize us and our guests all over our wonderful community. And this month is talking about Thanksgiving and Thanks-living and caring. And so what better fitting guests than the two guests we have on today?
We do, and actually we just missed Literacy Month by a little bit further, but we have two guests from the Winnebago County Literacy Council, something that's been near and dear to my heart for a lot of years. And we have Terry Hansen, who I've known through a couple other parts of our lives, and Dr. Jan Edelstein, also with the Literacy Council. So welcome, both of you.
Welcome, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
We're thankful that you're here.
And Terry, why don't we start out, why do we have a Literacy Council? Why is something like that so necessary?
Literacy is so important to our community, and we are taking care of a lot of people in our programs. We help people really learn how to read, write, and speak English and do everyday skills with confidence. And last year we served over 400 people in our programs. So it's really important.
And we have a lot of resettlement folks through World Relief and through other programs. And so you're one of the first agencies that they're linked up with, correct?
Well, probably the first agency would be World Relief.
Right.
But soon thereafter, they come to us for help with learning English. They can take our classes, they can get a tutor, and we have a Road to Work program for refugees that they can also participate in.
Mm-hmm. And when we start talking about literacy, and it's not just people coming from other countries, other cultures, there's a lot of illiteracy or functional illiteracy in our own community, correct?
Right. Maybe Dr. Jan could answer that better than me.
As we look at literacy, we think of just reading. However, literacy can be financial literacy, it could be racial literacy. Literacy evolves around many different things. So in our community, we service a lot of people who might know how to read, but they cannot do math. They have trouble balancing their checkbook or balancing a budget, and that would be fitting into financial literacy.
Well, in one of the groups that you and I both have attended meetings with is the medical or health literacy.
That's correct.
And the project that you help to work with.
Mm-hmm. And the health literacy is certainly something for both Terry and I, both being registered nurses, we're very concerned about, do people understand the healthcare system here in the United States? Do they understand about healthcare in general? Can they read information that they receive from their healthcare provider? And do they know how to take medication? Mm-hmm. So that's all important things that we as nurses are concerned about, but that fits into health literacy as well.
And I'm glad you brought that up too, because working for Aurora, as chaplain and volunteer services there, I see this every day. And it doesn't matter the age, the religion, the race, everybody needs help when it comes to, especially with the change in the medical language that we've all experienced lately. I also want to thank your group too, because we've done, through another setting, we've had a couple of groups come through and tour for us and critique us on whether the information was easy to read and understand. And that was invaluable for us. I remember the one group that came through, on the doctor's orders, the clinic orders, it said x-ray, it said mammogram, it said radiology, it said MRI, and that was so confusing to all the people, saying, so now all the signs are simply one word and that's the word we use, or we've used simpler words so everybody can understand and make their way around. So your group is truly invaluable, not only in our community, but like, as you said, also in the healthcare system where we all need help with that also.
We are also partnering with Fox Valley Technical College and Aurora to offer health literacy, and we've done this, it'll be our second year in spring that we're doing that, so.
Oh, that is, and we love partnerships and collaboration and all that, and I'm so excited that you guys are nurses. I can tell by your eyes you're nurses, because you guys have these caring, twinkling little eyes that you can tell, and that's, you know, what you need to be a nurse. You need to be caring and energetic, because it's a long day and you see a lot. You do see a lot of things in your career, so congratulations on that also.
Thank you.
Our class is called Health in Plain Language, and it's free, and we offer it at Fox Valley Tech right after the English classes. So it's very convenient, and we partner with Aurora. So we have speakers that come from Aurora to volunteer their time talking to our groups.
I'll have to get information on that too, so I can have it, and so our library can have it, and
Yeah.
because you know how it is, the bigger you get sometimes, people don't know what's going on all over, and that's
Right.
really nice. And that, as you said, that's a nice collaboration with the tech and and everything too. So that sounds really great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need lots and lots of volunteers. And what are your volunteer requirements?
Well, we're looking for people that are over 18 unless they want to volunteer as a teenager with their mom or dad. And they have to pass a criminal background check and be truly interested in helping someone with literacy or helping. We have a class called Family Literacy where we have little children and their moms learning English. We need help with the children. We need help with our English classes. So those are some of the volunteer needs we have. And of course, tutors. We always need tutors.
We're going to have you keep talking, because now on the screen is the wish list for you. Besides the volunteer needs, if we could go back, there's the wish list. Do you want to talk about some of those?
Some of the
and what
supplies.
they're used for?
Sure. You want to go do that, Jen?
Sure. One of the things that we could use would be things that we can use with our children. Some of the things that are listed there are alphabets, number, bingo games. We do at our Family Lit program have the Fuzzy Ludwig Library. And so we have books from Fuzzy Ludwig from her daycare that have been donated to the Literacy Council. And this is one way we can get books into the hands of children and their families. So games, puzzles, anything that we could send home with our families would be wonderful. But also for our adult classes as well. Things that we could bring into the classroom that people can take home. Largely books, easy to read books, and get those into the homes.
So what's the felt for? Do you do something? Do you make something with the felt squares?
We still use some of the felt squares in making fabric cloths. We tell stories. We also use some of the old-fashioned felt boards. And
remember
again,
those in
telling
school.
stories, the story cloths. So we do quite a bit of that. We try to make things very simple and easy to use as well.
The things that we've used for our little kids and our grandkids all these years.
Absolutely, easy to use.
So if somebody would like to make a donation, because that's what was on the screen last, is who would they contact, or what would the information be for them if they said, hey, I have some of this, or hey, I want to go shopping and buy some of these supplies? Who would they contact?
They would contact me, Terry Hansen, and they could contact me at my office. My number is 920-236-5185.
Well, thank you for that, because we do get lots of people who listen to the show and they get excited, especially learning more. And that was why we started the show too, because there's so much going on in our community that sometimes people don't know about all the good things. And here to find out, I didn't know that you used all of that stuff either. I knew the purpose of your group, but I didn't know about that too. So that's really great. So besides volunteers, anything that people can donate.
Right. Well, and one of the other things, you have a lot of office type supplies
Right.
that you could use. And as some of the businesses are changing from this to this to this, you can use
Oh,
a great
absolutely.
deal of that.
We always need calendars, pencils, pens, paper, 3-ring notebooks, that type of thing.
Well, and what I've done in my apartment building is I've just let it be known as some of my neighbors are getting all these calendars, 2 and 3 a day. Please save them. Please put them outside my door. Let me know that you've got them, and I'm just going to collect them, and I will bring them to you.
Good, thank you.
Things like that.
That would be great.
So you can use calendars of all sizes?
That's one of
Yes.
the basic skills that we teach is the days of the weeks, months of the year.
And what
how-
appointments you
What
have.
appointments you have. You have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday.
At what time?
What does that mean? So,
Well, that's really good to know because, I also run the gift shop at Aurora. I get promo calendars constantly, those little motivational things. Now I know another use for them and where
And
to put them.
Cheryl for Imprint, right after the first of the year, has got scads of extra ones that she's always looking for a home for. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
those types of things too. And I think too, as we look at incorporating volunteering with some of our smaller kids, having them actually draw calendars for some of your people might not be a bad thing.
That would be great.
cute.
That would really cute.
So if I decided I wanted to volunteer there, the process is the background check, and then does the training come according to what I decide I'd like to do?
As far as our training, we have our tutor orientation, or we call it our boot camp. So it's a 2-hour orientation to tell about our organization and to give a background on who our learners are. We also talk about learning styles. We talk about adult learning principles because adults are very different than teaching children. And we give a little information about what things we do to start with the very first meeting, conversational skills, and lesson plans. So we do that as our 2-hour boot camp training first.
So on our screen now, they've been scrolling pictures. So would these be volunteers with clients?
No, this is mother and her child at Family Literacy.
Okay.
And the Altruista Club made
The
blankets for
with
them.
our conference in 2014.
Yeah, and so that's one of their moms and the baby.
And we're very proud of her because she is a U.S. citizen. So she took the citizenship test and passed. So we're very proud of her and her family.
That's a great accomplishment then too.
And some of us, not necessarily us, but some of our generation can't pass that test
Exactly.
as, naturally born.
Which I believe, I
citizens.
think they put it in the newspaper once and they ran it and had you answer some of the questions, and it was very eye-opening of things that we kind of take for granted too, that we
Exactly.
have. So what are a variety of the volunteer opportunities that they have? There's office work, I take it, that could
Right.
be done?
Right, and we mentioned tutoring and helping out in the classroom, helping out with the kids.
And fundraisers, and what type of fundraisers?
We have our annual event called Spellbound for Literacy. It's a crazy, crazy event. We have all these spelling teams in the community that come out and spell, and they have such a good time. We always need help with that.
Was that the one it's at the library?
Well, no, we actually had it at LeSure's.
Sure, so that's a
banquet
bigger
hall.
venue.
Yeah, I think we had like 300 people last year.
So when is that? Is it always the same time of the
It'll
year?
be, in 2016, it'll be April 7th on a Thursday evening from
Oh.
5 o'clock to 9
Get that
o'clock.
right out there. Our audience can, you know how busy we are today? To get that out there for 2016 is wonderful.
And it's fun. It's really
So
fun.
you have teams and it's like the National Scripps Spelling Bee, is it?
It's not quite like that, but it's really fun. And people
Are-
don't get stressed
And
out.
Are
They
competitive.
you
have a lot
allowed
of
to
fun.
write it on a piece of paper
Yes.
before you spell it
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't spell it verbally without putting it on paper most times.
Yeah.
And it's competitive?
It's competitive.
Oh, I love that. Okay. I know, and all of us think, I keep telling my kids I was the City of Oshkosh 8th grade spelling bee champion, and they say, prove it. I can't. So I'll have to join. To say that. But that's good. Any other fundraisers that you
I
guys?
just have to tell you, last year the comedy club won the spelling bee. Can you believe that? It was wild. Yes, and we have an event coming up in October 15th at Robin's Restaurant. We're going to have a gentleman talking about immigrants in Oshkosh, and that's from 5 to 7.
So you do stuff like that all year just to get your name out there
Right.
too, so people recognize that. That is really good. And that's what we like to learn, because this show is about helping us learn, and the more people watch,
Right.
the more they can learn.
And along with all of our other volunteer needs, you need board members
Right.
who can help build the program.
Right, and get the word out in the community about the wonderful work that we do.
We've always talked about that when we say to some people, are you a volunteer, and they're on a board or committee, they don't consider that volunteering, and we said, that's your time that you're giving and your expertise.
Right.
And if we
so-
had to pay for that type of support,
Exactly.
we wouldn't be a nonprofit anymore. We'd have
Yeah.
to be for profit.
Exactly. Is there anything you want to, our time is running down, is there anything you want to push
I
to our
just wanted to
audience?
say that all our services are free of charge. And so
That's
I
a
think
word
that's,
everyone loves to
Yeah.
hear, especially today.
And we talk collaboration and everything. And one of the things that you and I need to remember promoting our programs, we are United Way partner programs.
Exactly. And we work a lot with a lot of community organizations, especially the Oshkosh Public Library. That's where we're housed.
You're housed there and access to so many more supports there.
Exactly.
Well, what's your phone number again?
My phone number is 920-236-5185.
Thank you very much. And that was for the benefit of our radio audience also. Also, if you need more information, you can contact Judy or myself, or information's at the end of the show. We appreciate you lovely ladies being here on our show today. And stay tuned, and we'll be back for our second segment of our November edition of Helping Hands.
If you have expired or unused medication, don't flush it, pour it down the drain, or toss it in the trash. Safely dispose of unwanted or expired medications at the drug drop box located inside the Oshkosh Police Department. It's convenient and anonymous, safe and secure, and it's open to everyone 24/7. Drop off your prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, pet meds, and more. Keep drugs out of the reach of children and out of our water supply. Dispose of unwanted or expired medications at the drug drop box. For more information, visit the Oshkosh Police Department website at oshkoshpd.com.
Wisconsin is losing our World War II veterans. If you were a World War II veteran, or you know one who hasn't gone on an honor flight to D.C., please help us. The Wisconsin Broadcasters Association is partnering with all Wisconsin Honor Flight hubs to make sure every eligible vet remaining who served their country so selflessly gets the chance to go. It's time for them to see their memorial. It's time for their flight. To learn more or to make a donation, go to wisconsinhonorflight.org.
Hi, welcome back to our second segment of our November edition of Helping Hands. This is a little spot in which Judy and I chit-chat and talk about what's going on in our community, where the needs are, what we've heard from you. We still want to say that there still is time for you to donate for the Coats of All Kinds campaign with the Salvation Army. The coats are dry cleaned for free in our community, then given out to those in need. And as we said, it's going to be a harsher winter, so they will gladly accept coats, mittens, hats, scarves, anything you have. Look around town for the containers. And if need be, you can't find one, you can drop it off at Judy at Meals on Wheels or myself at Aurora. We'll be glad to give those coats a new and well-deserved home.
And as we talk about Salvation Army with that, don't forget there's the Red Kettle campaign and the bell ringers that will be out in the community. And drop your spare change in. or listen when there's going to be a match, so that on that particular day, your $5 becomes $10. Those are always good things to do.
And we want to talk a little about things going on at Aurora for the month of November. And for us, we have our annual holiday craft fair, which I think is in its 12th year. I just remember the first year it started off as a potluck and a little craft fair just to get people in the spirit and to give them a place to buy their gifts over the lunch hour, because the holidays, we all know, are crazy. And it's grown into this wonderful, huge event now, which will take place on November 29th and 30th, first floor across from the gift shop.
On Sunday afternoon and all day Monday. And we start at 6 a.m. on Monday, which freaks everybody out.
And yes, there are people there at 6 a.m.
They are there at 5:30 when I come from home.
Because originally we did that also, so all the shifts would have a chance to attend. So the people who are coming off third shift have a chance to be there, and they actually get first dibs on everything because they're the first ones there.
This was originally set up by and for the Aurora employees, and it has expanded so that the community is invited in, and we have some of the vendors are from the community. But it's important to remember it's free admission, but the fee for the vendors to participate, those dollars are used for the Aurora patients and caregivers. It doesn't line somebody else's pocket or anything.
We started that from the beginning, and I do have to say, compared to other craft fairs, the fee for a vendor to be in our craft fair is minimal compared to other craft fairs that you see. And as Judy said, the fee that they're paying, that goes directly to our patient-centered care fund. So if a department has an idea to do something for their patients that's not in the budget, like our labor and delivery likes to make stockings for Christmas, for the holidays, to give to every baby being born. That's what the money is used for them. They buy the material, they make the stockings, and we use it all year round. It's popular, as Judy said. It's free. It's free. You can go in there for free and see wonderful things. Get great ideas too.
Right. No party plans, no pre-mades. It's all a lot of very individual, unique type items, and they're locally made. And we do a central checkout, so you don't need to, if you're buying from 5 different people, not 5 different checks or swipes or anything. It's just one central checkout, and you're on your way. And we've had very good success with it. People look forward to it.
They do. The week after, they're asking, when is the next one? Now we have this date that we're always keeping.
Or that we're also asked, okay, I saw this there last week. Do they, who was the vendor? Do they have more? Well, very rarely can we do multiples of any item, because that's part of the charm of this.
Right.
It's more unique. There aren't 50 mass-produced items.
And the one benefit also besides that, if we've had people come up to us and say, I really like that vendor, can we have their contact information? And we will give people the contact information so it can continue on, so maybe they can support the local businesses. The one thing I really like about it also is I just came back from a big conference where all the vendors are there, and every vendor is trying to sell you something. Here, our vendors do not have to be present. If they are unable to be present for those 2 days, all their items are checked, so as we said, one central checkout, but then you and the rest of the crew know about the items and you're there to promote it too. So nobody's giving you that forcing thing where I have to buy this or I have to buy that. And there's a wonderful selection. Our conference room A and B is completely filled.
It becomes a winter wonderland just to coordinate with the gift shop itself.
Exactly. And we do want to add another thing for our audience too. So you can go shopping there, you can go in the cafe and have the Fireside Cafe and have lunch or breakfast, but we also have our Books Are Fun. We'll also be there on that Monday, November 30th. So then you can go into the cafeteria and go shopping with Books at Fun, which goes along with our previous guest in the Literacy Council. Nothing better to give for the holidays to someone than a book, or buy a book and donate it to the Literacy Council.
Well, and as long as we're on the literacy, and United Way with the Dolly Parton Library, which is the birth to age 5, and when I was doing a recent presentation, I said I was the meanest mother and the meanest grandmother on the block, because instead of getting the candy and the little nicky-nacky things for the kids, I always got books. And they, my daughters grown up love to read. My grandkids love to read. I love to escape in a book. And it's something that is so nice. And again, the literacy, the life skills that you learn from it.
And anyone who knows me knows I'm not a high-tech person. The way I choose a job in my career is I find out if they have a great IT department. So because I don't like that. If I want to read a book, I want to read a book and feel the pages of the book and smell the book and get that whole feel. I can't do it on a book reader or anything like that.
I have trouble reading, but I do my word game on the Kindle.
So buying books, I think, is a wonderful thing, especially books that parents pass down to their children and they pass down to their children. So we're in the month of November. It's the month of Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. So if you're looking for something to bring to someone's house for Thanksgiving, a good coffee table book, anything for the kids, I think it's a chance to support reading. As you talked about Dolly Parton Library, we're seeing in Oshkosh all of those little libraries popping up all over.
Little free libraries.
Yeah, why don't you go there and put some books in a free library? I think it's a great idea.
And two of the very prominent locations, one is at Evergreen by the main drive, and there's another one over at Franciscan Courts right across from St. Mary Fields.
Yes, and they look so nice, and it's a great thing to do. What else is going on in the month of November? We're just prepping for December.
I think there's a lot going on. There's always the Deer Hunter Widows and the opportunities out there. Families who can volunteer with a Thanksgiving meal at Father Carr's or some of the things through their churches. And then, of course, December is just blooming, not only with poinsettias, but lots of opportunities.
And as you said, too, let's remember our warming shelter, which we've also promoted in the past, too.
Opened back in October.
So that's a chance for people to donate food, to go there as a group, whether you're the altruistic group or a Rotary or a group from your church, a youth group. You can go there and prepare a meal for those people.
You're at your home and then take it and
serve it
right
to them. And that's a hot meal that they get. And so there's many ways you can give back, especially because everyone loves the month of November. It's Thanksgiving. Maybe you could visit someone who shut away in their home or lost someone. It's a great time to remember them, invite them over, make a blanket for them, make a homemade card for them, and give back in that way.
Right. When we hit the holidays, I have so many folks in the community that want to do cards and tray favors and things, and we have such a superabundance, and believe me, we love it. Volunteers love it, recipients love it. What I have left over comes to you or one of the other programs. We just share.
Which is collaboration, which our first group talked about. So if you're interested, more ideas on how you can give back during November and those cold winter months, contact myself, John Neiman, at Aurora Medical Center, 456-7013.
Or Judy Ritchie at Meals on Wheels, 651-3316.
We're so glad that you could be here for this November show. Any questions, anything, please contact us, but we wish you a very blessed Thanksgiving.
Thank you.